Welcome everybody once again to the Music Show, and I'm Ray Braselton, your host.
And I'm Nick Rita, co-host.
Tonight we have for you Peter VanGee, Small Town Story. That's the name of his solo act, and I guess sometimes he has other people perform with him. He's a young man, actually from Hennessy, Oklahoma. Right. And
the wonderful state of Oklahoma.
Wonderful state of Oklahoma. He actually comes to New York once a year, stays at a farm in Marion, New York.
Right.
I believe this is a regular thing for him, and performs a lot in the evenings, and does farm work, I think, in the morning. Wow. So I think it's his aunt.
He's a better man than I am, I'll tell you.
But we grabbed him because one year he came in to my place and wanted to rent some piano paraphernalia, keyboard, amp, and everything. And we ran it to him for a wedding that he was doing. And this year he came in for some other stuff and started playing the guitar, and I had no idea he could play guitar, and I hadn't heard him really sing. And I was pleasantly surprised and asked him to be on the Music Show. And I think that you're going to be happy that I did ask him to be on the Music Show. He's a wonderful artist, very talented man, young man, and performs probably most all the songs except one were are originals. So I think they're very
nice feel to
it. Different style,
and yeah, nice pop style.
Yeah, pop style.
People will enjoy this today. I'm sure they will.
Yeah. And
they had better. If they don't,
they will. If they don't, they won't watch us. But I'm sure that they will.
No, and, this is an imperative,
right?
A moral imperative that they would like this.
But you'll enjoy the show, in addition to, of course, Uncle Nick's Corner and the showcase. And we have of
the
course,
interview
and the round table at the show, and we get a little bit into his town, his small town that he comes from, and talk about how he wrote his songs, and talk about his friends, and a couple of his friends I believe he wrote about in his songs. One of the songs he wrote about was traveling here to New York on some of his trips. The keyboard, again, like Uncle Nick said, kind of a pop style, and same thing with the guitar. I think you'll be pleasantly
I think
surprised.
people will like it.
So you know, stay tuned.
Don't touch that dial.
Yeah, don't touch that dial. We got mailbag coming too. Don't forget.
Right.
Okay, we'll see you in a bit.
Hi, my name is Peter VanGee, and my stage name is Small Town Story, and I'm from Hennessy, Oklahoma. And this first song is an original song, and it's about one of my best friends from New York State, actually. And I wrote it about only having a picture to remember her by when I'm not with her. So this is called Picture. Some say a picture's worth 1,000 words, but that's all I have. Oh, I've been longing to sit a while and talk with you again. Yes, that picture's fine and I can remember that crazy time, but I think it's time to get back to the basics. Do you remember how we met? It's a summer I won't soon forget. Laying out and talking in the sunshine, making memories that will make us smile, but they only last a while, and 1,000 words can only go so far, yeah. No more pictures, no more paintings, I'm tired of waiting, baby, I miss you and I wanna see you again. Some say a picture's worth 1,000 words, but they've all been said. Can't stand to missing you, with the thoughts of you that keep running through my head. Oh, the possibility that you could just run to me and we would be happy ever after. Faster. Oh, do you remember how we met? It's a summer I won't soon forget. Laying out and talking in the sunshine, making memories memories that will make us smile, but they only last a while, and 1,000 words can only go so far, yeah. No more pictures, no more paintings, I'm tired of waiting, baby, I miss you and I wanna see you again. I would travel the whole world just to see you again. Any cost, I don't care what it takes, 'cause this song could not just be about any girl, 'cause no one else could make me feel this way. Oh, do you remember how we met? It's a summer I won't soon forget, laying out and talking in the sunshine, making memories that will make us smile, but they only last a while, and 1,000 words can only go so far. No more pictures, no more paintings, I'm tired of waiting, baby, I miss you and I wanna see you. I miss you and I wanna see you. I really miss you and I have to see you again.
Welcome everybody to the music show and the interview segment of our show, and we have for you today Peter VanGee. And Peter is actually from out of state. You want to tell us where you're from, and for that matter, let us know a little bit about yourself and the instruments you play.
Okay, I'm from Hennessy, Oklahoma, which is about 1,500 miles away or so from here, and I play primarily piano and guitar, but I also play a little bit of trombone, harmonica, and a few other things. And
well, I played trombone through high school, so I shared that's a good instrument, trombone. But it's a little bit hard to sing with, so so I went to guitar. But just thought, we appreciate what you've done for us so far, and I know that you've got a lot more to do for us, and looking forward to it. And let's go over a few things. One thing, I guess I was interested. You seem like you're a young man. You're still in high school, or you graduated just recently, didn't you? And how old are you?
I just graduated high school, and I'm 17 years old.
Great. So he'll be ripe in another year or so. But no, I know that you have done a lot since you come down here, and we really appreciate you coming down here for the TV show. And I know that you make trips down here to visit your aunt, and to be able to spend time working on the farm, I guess. And we're going to get into that at the round table. That'll be a lot of fun to talk about. But I guess I would start now. How did you get started? How old were you? And all that business.
First of all, I'm really glad to be here. Thanks for having me. And I started in music when I was 5, taking classical music lessons on the piano. I guess I started before that. I had a little playhouse, and Mom and Dad said I had a keyboard in there, and I was always playing. So then they encouraged me to take the lessons, and I just took my last one around the time when I graduated high school. And as far as guitar goes, I started teaching myself actually when I would come up to New York. I think I was 13, and I used my aunt's guitar and just kind of messed around with it, and now I've grown into the music projects that I'm doing now.
But you had some formal training, didn't you, on the piano?
On the piano, yes. I had classical lessons. But
Okay. And how many years was that again?
From when I was 5 to 17.
Wow. So formal lessons on the piano, and taught yourself guitar. Mm-hmm. And because you do some fantastic work on the guitar, it really amazes me that you can pull that off without any lessons. But you must watch a lot of people, I imagine.
I do. Actually, John Mayer, and you wouldn't know it by my style of playing, but John Mayer is one of my biggest guitar inspirations. One of my biggest inspirations is a guy named A.J. Raphael, who's popular on YouTube, and another similar artist is Gabe Bondoc, who's also popular on YouTube. And they sing mostly acoustic music. I guess that's how I would categorize it.
Your piano work and the way you sing just reminds me of somebody, and I'm not sure who, but just the way you work around the piano. Is there anybody you aspire to, or is that just your own style, basically?
A lot of it, my friends tell me, is my own style, but a big influence as far as piano goes is Billy Joel.
Oh, okay. That's the person. I knew there was somebody out there that. Okay, and from what I understand, you are a songwriter, so a lot of these songs you're doing, if not all of them, have been written by you. Am I right?
Yes, I write my own music.
Right. And you also from what I hear through the grapevine, you're quite a star in your town. A lot of people they look up to you, and I know you had a big debut. Well, I don't know if it was a debut, but you had a big deal going on at school with the graduating class. Your graduating class, you wrote a song and performed it for them, and I know that song is on our itinerary tonight to do. And I just was wondering, is that can you tell us a little bit about that song and what that was about, what it was for exactly?
Well, the goal was to really get to my parents, I guess, and I'm positive that I did that. Actually, I was just thinking about all that graduating meant to me, you know, or what it was going to mean to me as graduation was drawing near, and it just was a culmination of ideas about how graduation meant, and the relationship that my parents had, or actually the triangle between myself, my parents, and graduation.
So this is something that you sung for the whole graduating class.
Yes, I sang that at the graduation ceremony, and my mom and dad didn't hear the song until graduation day, so it was a pretty big deal.
I'll bet. Boy, is there any more story to that? And if there is, we'll talk about that during yeah, we'll get more into that. Okay, what kind of venues do you play out? What kind of places did I understand you play like coffee houses and?
The last event that I did before I came up to New York for this stay was a little coffee shop setting, probably 50, 60 people or something like that. And I also play at we have this thing in Hennessy called the Hometown Hootenanny, which is local talent just coming together and putting on different acts of just local musical talent. And they asked me to play at that a few years ago, and now I'm kind of a perennial at that event too, so that's a pretty special one because it's close to home.
Well, after this show, I'm hoping that you'll be doing a lot more venues in our area, so I had to get you over visiting more. We have a lot to talk to you about why he comes here every year, and you know, all the things you do when you're out here. And I think it'd be quite interesting for you to learn about that, and maybe get more ideas on your future plans. We'll talk about that during the round table and what you plan on doing, and your new CD. In fact, I guess do you have a name for it yet?
It's just an EP, and it's like the self-titled because I wanted to go pretty basic. It's just called the Small Town Story EP.
Okay, and at some point or another, you think you might be releasing that?
I think once I go back home from this day, I'm going to have a release party at the coffee shop that I was telling you I played at earlier.
Great. Maybe you can take our show with you, too.
Nice.
Playing the show. So, well, I know we'll talk more about this later, but I want to make sure you know that if you do want to, for any chance, get any of his material or CD or even maybe the show, want to write for it, I'm sure he can take care of you. Do you want to give like a email or a phone number or anything, contact number?
I'll give the email address. It's the word number spelled out, so NUMBER, and then an underscore, and 025 at yahoo.com. And I'm sure that'll be on the screen for you.
Yes, it'll be right there. It's there now. Look, we'll see you in a little bit. Stay tuned for more songs, originals, and one cover, I believe. And also you want to stay tuned for this roundtable discussion. It'd be interesting to hear about what you do up here. Okay, we'll see you in a little bit.
Well, this next song is called Airwaves, and it is special to me because it's about coming to New York and trying to get there just a little too fast. Driving since 5 a.m. and I don't even know what town I'm in anymore. 1,500 miles away, my judgment says stop. That's okay, cause my foot won't pick itself up off the floor. I'm leaving it all behind. My car breaks down, I won't mind. Cause baby I'd walk, baby I'd run,
or I'd swim across the ocean. Take a bus, maybe a plane, or the tunnels of the subway. But this song can take the airwaves, 'cause they go faster than me. And when you hear it, it can tell you I'm okay. And baby, I'm on my way. I must have been driving about 85, and that's when I saw those flashing lights, and I thought I better pull off to the side. He said, you must be from out of town. I said, my home's far behind me now, and tonight I am Empire State bound. Well, you can write me up, I won't mind. I'll just put my car back and drive. But baby, I'd walk, baby, I'd run, or I'd swim across the ocean. Take a bus, maybe a plane, or the tunnels of the subway. But this song can take the airwaves, 'cause they go faster than me. And when you hear it, it can tell you I'm okay. And baby, I'm coming. I've come too far to not make it to your arms. And I'd do anything just to be where you are. I'd even walk, baby, I'd run, or I'd swim across the ocean. Take a bus, maybe a plane, or the tunnels of the subway. But this song can take the airwaves, 'cause they go faster than me. And when you hear it, it can tell you I'm okay. And baby, I'm on. Baby, I'm on. Baby, I'm on my way.
Hello and welcome to Uncle Nick's Corner. You know, one of the first segments we did months and months ago was on the pentatonic scale. Pentatonic scale, as you remember, is a 5-note scale, hence the name penta. Penta meaning 5, tonic meaning, I think that's something you drink, I'm not sure. But at any rate, we start out, the pentatonic scale starts out with the root of a major scale. We used A before, so we're going to use A again. The root of that major scale A would be A, hence the name A. We take a flatted third, which in the key of A we would have a C sharp. So instead of the C sharp we have a C natural. We also then end up going to the 4th of the scale with a D. Then we use the 5th of the scale, that's an E. And we use a flatted 7th, which is in this case G. And of course then we use the octave. So here's what it sounds like. And like we said before, it's a no-brainer scale. You can use it against any of the chords in the key of A. And in rock and in blues and somewhat in jazz, it's one of the basics for improvisation. A nice thing about it, like we said before, is that you can't make a mistake with it. So as you start playing, you start building lines automatically. And it just works out marvelously like that. But when we use this pentatonic scale, one of the forms that we use starts with the 6th string, first finger being on the root, and then the third, the flatted third, is under the 4th finger. First finger for the 4th, 3rd finger for the 5th, first finger for the 7th, then the octave is the 3rd finger. Going up the next scale we have 1st, 3rd, 1st, 4th, 1st. And that's the primary first form that you would use. And it lays under your fingers really nice. It's good for practicing and keeping in that 4-finger position. But it then changes you just to that one part of the fingerboard. what we can do is we can move that form up. We can move those notes up. Now, years ago, I started writing a little treatise on this sort of thing. And I started by, and if Mike can get a little bit of, yeah, see how well we could see this. I'll see, okay, there it is. Notice along here what I did was I took a fingerboard diagram and I plotted all the notes that are in the A minor pentatonic scale. Then I took sections of it and brought it over to the side here and extracted all different forms. Now there's going to be 5 different forms that we can use, one form for each one of the notes in the pentatonic scale. Let's look at that. Let me bring that first one up to the next position. So I here have an A. Now instead of playing the C with my pinky, I'm going to take my second finger up to there, and then I'm going to continue on from there, which would be in the 7th position. So I have C, D, C, D, E, G under my 4th finger, and the A. So there it is. Notice what I've done is when I play in that position, I've cut off the low A. But when I go up, instead of stopping at this C, I added D up here. So while I truncate or cut off the bottom notes, I'm adding notes to the top. And what that form ends up looking like is 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 2, 4. Works out really nicely. I can then extend up the fingerboard. What I just did there was shifted between the 2 positions. Give me a tight shot of the fingerboard one more time. I want to just show one more thing for this session, and shifting from one to the other. Look at what I can do on any of the strings. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift on the 4th string. I'm going up. Now when I get to that 4th string with my 1st finger, the next one is up here with the 4th finger. I'm sorry, with the 1st finger. And I can shift back down. Makes it really handy. Again, the two positions that we've covered. The basic root position, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4, and then starting on the 2nd tone of the pentatonic scale, the C, we have the 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 2, 4. If you'd like more information on that, you can get in touch with us at our website. I think Mike's putting that down there right now. Right, Mike? There it goes. See it. But until the next time, take care, keep picking, and we'll see you. Bye-bye.
This next song is another original, and it's entitled Daddy's Girl, Mama's Boy, and I wrote it for my high school graduating class. The time has come for us to turn the page.
But don't get us wrong, 'cause we've enjoyed our stay. And although things may never be the same, don't you worry, 'cause we're only a phone call away. And just because we're leaving doesn't mean we're walking out. And we'll probably need you sooner than you think. We'll leave you with a promise that should fill your hearts with joy. We'll always be Daddy's girl and Mama's boy. You taught us how to dance and curl our hair, and try not to get makeup everywhere. And you taught us how to run and catch a ball. But I promise Mom and Dad, no, that's not all. All the important things we promised to apply. But even the eagle had to leave its nest before it could fly. So just because we're leaving doesn't mean we're walking out. And we'll probably need you sooner than you think. We'll leave you with a promise that should fill your hearts with joy. We'll always be Daddy's girl and Mama's boy.
Welcome, everybody, again to one of our instrumental showcases. And we have for you the How's That group. And they're going to help us to, especially Rick, you're going to be the leader here and telling us all about this interesting, what is it? I'm going to kind of turn things over to you.
It's called the Bose system. It's a sound PA system that was actually the engineering of the acoustics of it was done by the military and used in warfare. They could like sit in a spot here and 250 yards away they can be blasting a city. And Bose took that technology and they developed this PA. It's got these tiny little speakers in there pointing off in different directions. This will cover an area of a room about 320 degrees. Actually, it's more than 180. It even goes back the way. This is the L2, which is more sophisticated than obviously in the L1. What I can stand in front of this and sing with my microphone, and you can hear there's no feedback. It's amazing. And what I'm hearing right here, standing next to it, person 150 feet out will hear exactly the same thing I'm hearing, and you can hear it's like studio quality sound when you sing through it. And I do a lot of one-man acts in hospitals and in different parties and stuff, and I have everything programmed, my music, and I plug everything right through. This is the Tone Master. This is the brains behind it. This it's got 4 channels, and it's I haven't even scratched the surface about what I can do with this, but it's quite an amazing computer right here. It's this is a fiber optic cable that runs from the Tone Master down to the base of this, and this is the speaker system. Like I said, there's all these little 1.5, 2-inch speakers pointing in different directions that and somehow or the other the acoustic engineering of the room just covers the room. It's it does have to be loud up front. It's a nice warm full sound all over, and it's an amazing piece of equipment.
Now what's down here again?
That's the woofer. If you could stack those, you can have as many. You can have up to 4 of those. One's plenty for whatever I need. You just heard I played my bass through this. And I've done that. I play my guitar through it in my voice and everything. And my programmed music goes through it. It all comes out nice and clean and crisp. And yeah.
So this is ideal for one man.
Oh, yeah, it's ideal for. Although rock bands are using them, I've seen pictures of each one has his own outfit behind him, playing through his voices and his music through it. And it's they're amazing piece of equipment.
Now is this all speaker? Or is
all
there,
this is
and this little unit down here?
That's the woofer.
And the woofer is a speaker, isn't it?
Lower.
The woofer is a speaker, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's got to go through some kind of an amplifier.
No, that is the amplifier.
Oh, it is. Okay.
That is the amplifier. That's everything. Wow. What you see right here. Here's your brains right here. This kid right here. Once you plug that, you turn that on down there, and then you turn this on. It fires the fiber optics fires that up. And that's it. You don't even. This is all I'm using for the drum machine and what have you. But no, that's a single unit all in itself. Everything you need right there.
And it was developed, you said, by the Army.
The military.
Military.
Yeah. A physics professor, and they tried to explain that to me how the engineering went. It's quite amazing. Quite amazing.
Now, is this I would assume it's kind of an expensive unit too.
Yeah.
Right.
You're talking in excess of $3,000 for that.
Right.
Yeah. It costs more than most cars that I've driven in my life. But I figure if you're going to play out, you might as well sound good. So I got it. So.
Well, one of the problems I have and a lot of people have is the sound, feeding back, and you want to be near it so you can hear it. But when you are, sometimes you get feedback, and this tends to eliminate that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. What I like about it is that what I'm hearing was what you're hearing. It's not like my speaker's going out the way, and if I don't have them adjusted right, I'm hearing my monitor, and I'm thinking, well, I'm sounding okay. You get out in front, you don't know, because I'm only one person. I can't really go out and listen to myself.
Now, who distributes this?
Bose. You got to go right to Bose. There's a place in the city, a couple of them that you can get. I believe Stutzman's up on the Ridge has one on display usually, and you can order one through them. But I got this right through the internet, right from Bose itself. So,
that's great. Well, I want to thank you very much for showing this. It's a very interesting unit. I've never seen anything like. We never had anything like this on the show, and I don't remember seeing one before. Are there very many people using them?
There are more and more. You see more and more of them around. Yeah. So.
You're saying that some of the bigger bands will use them too?
I've seen pictures of rock bands that have them. Yeah.
Would they just have one or two?
No, they have one behind each musician. I can imagine that fills a room up. Whoa! But for what I do, even a small band like a 3-piece band, we could probably get away with putting everybody right through this, and it would sound fine.
So the sound that we're hearing now is coming right out of
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad we had the showcase because I didn't realize all the sound was coming through there. That's
right.
Great.
Exactly.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it very much, Rick. And Jim and Mike. Where are you, Mike? Oh, there you are. Okay. Thank you guys for showing us, teaching us once again here on the Music Show, another instrument music showcase. See you a little bit.
This next song is one of my absolute favorite songs to cover. I wish I could claim it for my own, but I can't. It is called She Was Mine, and it is performed originally by A.J. Raphael and Jesse Barrera. So I hops on a train at 3 in the afternoon. I don't know when I'm coming back, but I hope that it's soon. See, I never thought that I'd have to leave your side, your side. It's only physically, but know that you will be on my mind 24 hours at a time. 'Cause in my eyes,
mine, you are mine. No matter where you go, I won't be very far, 'cause in my head I'll be right there where you are. 'Cause love has no distance, baby, love has no distance, baby, no, not when it comes to you and me. So she wrote to me a letter, said the weather wasn't better, but she said that she was doing fine. Wanna see you face to face, that's what she wrote to me that day, and I knew that it was all a sign. So I wrote back with this song, promise it won't be too long. Wanna make up for all the lost time, 'cause in my eyes, she was mine, she was mine. No matter where you go, I won't be very far, 'cause in my head I'll be right there where you are. 'Cause love has no distance, baby, love has no distance, baby, no, not when it comes to you and me. So I'm going through these boxes, my life's gone off track, and it's been 3 years and she hasn't written back. But in my eyes, she's still mine, she's still mine. And I know it sounds so stupid to be waiting this long, but I'm still in love, and I know I'm not wrong. 'Cause in my eyes, she was mine, she was mine. No matter where you go, I won't be very far, 'cause in my head I'll be right there where you are. 'Cause love has no distance, baby, love has no distance, baby, no, not when it comes to you and me. No matter where you go, I won't be very far, 'cause in my head I'll be right there where you are. 'Cause love has no distance, baby, love has no distance, baby, no, not when it comes to you and me. Not when it comes to you and me. Not when it comes to you and me.
Welcome everybody to the music show. I'm Ray Braselton, your host.
And I'm Nick Rita, co-host.
And today we have for you Peter VanGee, the great artist. And I'm going to let you, tell us what town you're from and everything.
Hennessy, Oklahoma, about 1,500 miles away.
Wow.
Once again.
Was that near anything big in Oklahoma? Or is there anything big in Oklahoma?
New Yorker would say that. That's harsh.
I had to. I really had to. I'm sorry.
We're about an hour northwest of Oklahoma City and about 2 hours just pretty much straight west of Tulsa.
Okay. Right.
And you come to New York pretty regularly, or you used to.
Ever since I was 9, I've been coming almost every summer until very recently.
And you play, of course, as people have found out on the show, you play several instruments, but the main ones on this show you played were guitar and piano, electronic piano today. And you sing. And we're going to tell you all about this guy and talk about him. You got a stage name like too, or
Small Town Story.
Okay, so that's your one-man band or whatever, or
for
whoever
now,
plays with you.
For now, it's one-man band. That people tell me it was very fitting because most of my most of my songs were inspired by things in a small town.
Yeah.
My town's very small, about 1,800 people.
It would be interesting to hear all about these people, because I hear that you're kind of a star over there, and I want to get all the scoop on that. But meanwhile,
we need
to talk
question,
about the mailbag.
Right.
Okay, so we want to get started with the mailbag question, and I'm going to let you, Nick,
introduce it. We
introduce the
got
mailbag
an interesting
today.
question about electric guitars, and the question was something to the effect: does the shape of an electric guitar have anything to do with the tone or the sound quality of the instrument? And the emphatic answer to that is no, not really. Other than if the shape has more or less mass to it, that's going to affect the tone. But in general, the thing that affects the tone on an electric guitar, as far as woods are concerned, are the woods that are used. The more dense the wood is, the more sustain it's liable to have, and the less dense it is, the warmer it'll be. And then the other thing that'll affect it, obviously, are the pickups.
Yeah.
But as far as wood is concerned, even the wood on the fingerboard will affect the tone to a certain degree. If it's ebony or maple or rosewood, you'll get slightly different tones from that. But basically, as far as the wood of the body is concerned, it has mostly to do with the density. And that's why you can see some pretty weird shapes, and you still, the tone is similar to whatever the shape.
Well, you even have some shapes where there's just basically a stick almost
Right,
at the fretboard, and
Right.
almost nothing
Yeah, right.
of a, and
Yeah.
still the pickups make the
Something
difference
that
with it.
radical might affect it because of the less wood that there's less vibrating, but not
still
as much as the
depending on the-
density.
on the
density of
pickup,
the
that
wood.
would be,
yeah,
the
the
biggest
pickups and the
influence
density of
in
the
that
wood.
case.
Right. There used to be what was it, a Kramer, that actually had an aluminum neck,
Yeah.
and you could actually hear the difference in a guitar that had an aluminum neck. But basically, the shape has not too
But
much.
that,
to do with it.
you said electric guitar, would that be the same as far as acoustic?
The
same
shape
idea?
of an
Yeah.
acoustic guitar? No, now that's another ball game. It's another thing altogether. The smaller the body, the brighter the tone's going to be. So on a dreadnought guitar, the tone's going to be different for the same woods as it would for a grand concert. So yeah, no, the woods on a guitar and the shape of an acoustic guitar is different. In fact, some people claim that they can hear a difference between a cutaway and a non-cutaway in the same acoustic guitar. I can't, but some
Yeah.
people claim that they can hear the
Have a
difference.
pretty sensitive ear to
So-
do that. Well, we want to thank you for the question, for bringing that question to us,
Right.
Uncle Nick.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And
And if anybody has any other
any questions, to make sure that you knock on my window, right?
knock on the window.
No, in fact, send us your questions, because we try to bring them up on the show when we can. And you can send them to the email address on your screen right now, and we'll try to tenor them, right?
Tenor. Yeah.
Or
We'd like to have like 10 or 15.
Right. So that's our mailbag question for today. It's a pretty good one, actually. Quite interesting. Short. This
Short,
time, but
right.
very nice. So now getting to our star
Right.
here.
That's why we made it short. We wanted to
We want to have more time with him. So what did you think, Peter? Did you enjoy doing the show with us?
I did. It's been a great experience.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I know that you did make a trip out here, not a special trip for us, but you made a trip nonetheless, and we grabbed you when we found out you were here. It was I've known you before. I've met you once before when you were at my place, and when you came in, I found out how good a guitarist you were. I thought you just played piano because you rented a piano system from me.
You had to play the wedding.
Wedding it was, yeah. And boy, you were so good. And then you started playing that guitar, and I said, I can't believe this. Yeah, how long have you been playing guitar? You didn't tell me that you've been taking lessons, from some big famous guitar studio for 20 years.
No.
But he taught himself how to play guitar. And so this has been a real treat having you play on the show. We thank you for that.
Thank you.
What do you think about that, Nick?
Pretty nice. Now you took some lessons on the keyboard on piano.
Yes.
Right.
Lots and lots of lessons.
From age 5, was it?
Yes.
Did you find that helped you in your guitar playing?
Definitely. Piano, I can tell you that without the piano foundation, I would be less than half the musician that I am now. Definitely. I'm a firm believer in piano study at an early age.
Right. Well, that's, in fact, when you go to school, if you go to college, if you go any distance at all, that's one of the things that you have to take up as keyboard to learn the piano, mainly for harmonic things and
Sure.
Definitely.
and that's the foundation anyway. So
Now, you also had an influence by a friend of yours that was a church pianist.
My cousin, actually.
Oh, was your cousin?
I mean, he is definitely a friend, and he was my big brother for the time that he lived in Hennessy until he moved away. And I looked up to him so much at the church that he played at. It was a big inspiration. I already loved to play the piano in my little playhouse at home, but looking up to my cousin Doug was a big part of what got me into playing at church, actually. And I started doing that when I was 12, being the church pianist.
Yeah, but you yourself started playing piano in church.
Yes.
You were the church pianist for a while.
I did. And I did that, and I just finished that service not too long ago, actually. Played my last Sunday not too far back.
Well, I guess you're getting ready to, I mean, you're moving on to new and better things, so I guess you had to wrap something up there.
Yes.
But, let's see, I got some, I know that that you are well known in your town. I've heard through the grapevine that you're kind of the big cheese over there when it comes to music. So you have good influence on people, and I think your music is very well received by many. And I guess since you come here, in fact, you've already done several concerts. I mean, just coming for 2 or 3 weeks, he's actually done a recording date, CD, made CD, or what would you call it? Not a CD, but
Well, a CD, but it's an EP. We've got it right here, actually.
Okay, yeah.
We can
Well,
show
this is the actual the masters.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And this is you're hoping to. It's got about 6 cuts on it.
6 tracks. Yeah.
6 tracks. And we're hoping that eventually we might get a copy of that, but we've got it on our show, a lot of it. But that cut is going to be brought back to your town.
Yes.
And hoping to have maybe some kind of a party, what do you call it,
a release party.
Release party on that. But you hopefully might even want to take this show out for them to see too.
Yes.
And I think that they enjoy it.
People sometimes they can appreciate the music, but when they have the visual, it just adds a whole nother element.
Yeah. So that's on this cut as well as on this show. Most of the songs were your own songs that you had written.
Yes. Well, actually, every song on the CD is an original one.
Right. So that's adds to your your expertise with music, is that you are a songwriter.
Yes.
And when did you start writing songs?
When did I start songwriting?
Yeah.
I think I started songwriting around my freshman year of high school, but only a few songs came out of that. And then in Christmas of 2008, the song called "Picture" came, and that's when I was up here visiting, actually, visiting my aunt, and I started that song. And that Picture song kind of jump-started the rest of my songwriting, and now it's grown into a project more than just one song.
So every time you come up here, you have to work on a farm?
I have to work on a farm. I don't have to. It's good for me.
I know it is
keeps
good
me
for
in
you.
good physical shape.
But tell me a little bit about your aunt and your uncle and their place and what you do in the course of the morning. You're a farmer by morning. You're an entertainer at night. Tell me a little bit about that.
Right now, she has 20
What's
horses.
her name, first of all?
Christine VanGee is my aunt.
And she lives in Marion.
Marion, yes. 20 horses on her farm, and the farm is called Christine VanGee Equine Instruction because she instructs people on how to ride horses.
That's in Marion, Quarry Corners, right?
Quarry Corners Road, yes.
And you kind of work on the farm during the...
Yep, I do the barn chores, and I get a few rides out of it even. And it's a fun hobby, the horse riding.
Yeah. You know, being a city boy, horses bite, don't they?
They do, and they kick too.
Ooh.
But
Ooh.
I've been pretty fortunate to stay away from that kind of thing in all my years.
You've done this for years of coming up here. And
Since I was 9.
Right.
Yep.
Well, this trip up here, again, you've done the CD. You've created and produced a CD. Who was the gentleman that helped you produce the CD?
His name's Bob Potter, and he's employed by the Finger Lakes Community College in Canandaigua.
Right.
And he did an excellent job. I'd recommend him to anybody.
That's great. And Finger Lakes is one of our substations, or for Time Warner, that plays our show. So
Great.
Yeah,
How about the future?
yeah.
Well, the future is going to be interesting
It's
because,
going to be later.
well,
That's why they call it the future.
it's Oklahoma State University is where I'm planning on going to college in the fall, and my major actually is chemical engineering, which hopefully you guys don't want to kick me too hard for not choosing music, but I'm definitely
we
going
won't.
to keep the music at the forefront. I'm going to keep
long as
with
you
the whole
keep it at the
songwriting,
forefront.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely, and the concerts. And that town actually is really big on live music, so hopefully I'll be as well received, if not better, than I was in my hometown or here even.
Yeah.
It's always good to have an education and a degree to go back on.
Definitely. Well, that's what we're calling it, is the fallback
The
plan.
fallback.
Yeah.
plan,
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Well, it is good to have that fallback plan, but hopefully, if things go well, maybe you could even make a living out of this and join the rest of us poor musicians.
Don't say that
Starving
poor word.
musicians,
That's what
starving
I'm not looking
musicians.
forward to that. No.
Well, but I think the main thing I want to do is catch a little bit about how you got started and your whole background and everything, which I think we've gotten from you, and also you did a beautiful thing in your town doing your graduation class. And I know we went a little bit through this on the interview, but could you just tell us the story on, and what was the name of the song?
Daddy's Girl, Mama's Boy. And it was such an amazing project. For one, it was kind of out of character for my songwriting style in the first place, because it was more finger picking than strumming. And it was just a blessing to be able to write a song like that, to be inspired to do a kind of different musical project. And it kind of put a little bit of a scare into me, actually, because obviously I couldn't set a date for graduation because the high school kind of does that for me. So lots of times when I write songs, they take a while. I'll write a part and it'll sit and kind of stew, and then I'll come back to it and finish it off. Well, unfortunately, this was one of those songs, and it came closer and closer to the graduation ceremony, and I said, guys, it'll be done. You can keep me on the program, and so finally, right before graduation, I had it and I played it for a few of my friends, and they said it's great, it'll work, and I could finally take that, I could finally let the air out and just kind of like relax, because it was finished product. So I was kind of nervous for a while though, because it was getting a little close, pushing it.
Well, you did a good job on it for the show here.
Thank you.
And we really enjoyed it. And getting back to your CD real quick, do you have any, did you say the name of your CD yet?
It's I just went, my artist name, and it's self-titled, so it's the Small Town Story EP.
You got Picture, can I mention the names of the songs?
Yes, go ahead.
Picture, Airwaves,
And those two were on the show.
yeah, Beautiful Mystery, When, Daddy's Girl, Mama's Boy, and Take Me Away. So, and this is Small Town Story. That's you.
Yes, that's
and
me.
Peter VanGee, we want to thank you very much for being on the show. Thank your aunt and your uncle for bringing him to our attention and bringing him here. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate you. And we had a great time with you. And
As did I.
We hope to have him back in a year or two.
Oh, okay, we get him every year. We know he's coming. Well, I don't know with college and everything.
Yeah, cross your fingers.
Yeah, that one. But, we look forward to seeing you make it big someday. And we'll get his autograph before he leaves.
Right.
So thank you again, Peter.
Thank you.
Okay? There you go.
Thank
And,
you.
Everybody, we will see you the next show, the music show. Stay tuned for the music show every single week. Bye.
This next song is an original piano composition, and it's about one of my best friends, and I even had to throw her name in the title. It's called Callan's Theme.
You're watching public access television for Western New York.